Welcome into the Commanders Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today, I'm going to be reacting to the first unofficial depth chart released by the Washington Commanders this week as they prepare to take on the New England Patriots in Week 1 of the NFL preseason. Before we get into my reaction, my takeaways from the first depth chart here for the Washington Commanders this year, click that thumbs up icon if you are ready for this season. Man, it's been a long off season. Very highly anticipated after that magical run to the NFC Championship game last year. And clicking that thumbs up icon not only shows your excitement, guys, but it also helps out the channel. It tells the YouTube algorithm to push this video in front of other Commanders fans like yourselves. If you want to help out the channel today, click that thumbs up icon. It really does help out quite a bit. So we'll start here with the takeaways from the depth chart, all right? I'm not going to go through the entire depth chart with you guys. I'm just going to give you guys the cliff notes here of my major takeaways. The first one is that Jacory Krosky-Merritt is still buried on the running back depth chart, which means I'm guessing we're going to see quite a bit from him this weekend, this Friday against the New England Patriots. Right now he's listed as the RB5 behind both Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr. Now JCM has been getting quite a bit of first team run in practices in training camp to this point. I do think that we're going to see quite a bit of him in the preseason this year. He's been playing awesome. He's got explosive cuts, great long speed. Apparently his vision to find those open lanes have been fantastic as well. And most of the reports coming out of Commanders training camp is that he looks like the best running back in camp right now. So this is going to be an interesting kind of dynamic. The Commanders are going to force Jacory Krosky-Merritt to earn everything that he gets this preseason, though. This is what this depth chart tells us right now, is that, he's a rookie. He's a 7th-round pick. Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr. are established players in this running back room. Obviously, they've been here for a couple of years at this point. So, JCM is going to have to go out there and he's going to have to prove it in these preseason games before he moves up the depth chart. So predict it for me down there in the comment section. Will JCM, Jacory Krosky-Merritt, be RB1 by the end of the season? I don't think it's completely out of the question, guys. Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section. And this will be the pinned comment on today's show. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you guys about an awesome opportunity to get a great piece of Commanders apparel, 50% off. But before we talk about that, make sure you get down there in the comments section and give me a yes or a no down there in the comments for today's pinned question. And with that, if you guys want to go to chatsports.com/WAS hoodie and you guys want a brand new Commanders hoodie, 50% off, you guys can get that right now. I really like the design of this hoodie, guys. That's why we picked it out. He's got those Commanders patches on the sleeve. You also got the Commanders logo on the chest. I really like that burgundy color as well. So if you guys want 50% off this hoodie right here, you can go chatsports.com/WAS hoodie to make that happen. The season is right around the corner. So if you guys want a new game day hoodie for the Washington Commanders, watching our watch parties here on the Commanders Report, 50% off today when you go chatsports.com/WAS hoodie. So get yours before they're all out. All right, so let's talk about Bill Krosky-Merritt. Of course, he's being forced to earn it here in the here with the Washington Commanders this year, and I fully expect him to do that. I mean, with all the reports coming out of the Commanders training camp to this point, like, he has been the most impressive guy out there, including Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler. So he's one of the people that I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on. I think he's going to make this preseason abundantly fun to watch as Commanders fans, and I can't wait to see him out there on Friday night. Then we get to the wide receiver pecking order on this first depth chart for the Washington Commanders this year. Not a ton of surprises here, but some things to talk about in terms of the pecking order with the pass catchers here in Washington. The starting wide receivers, Terry McLaurin is included on this depth chart. Of course, he is still on the roster. And then Deebo Samuel and Noah Brown are also listed as starters. Then you get into the second wave there, kind of that next wave of backups that would come in case of injury, or if Terry McLaurin's holdout continues into the regular season. Luke McCaffrey, Michael Gallup, and KJ Osborne fill out that group. And then Chris Moore, who's been having a really good camp. Same thing with Jalen Lane. Both of those guys have been getting first-team reps in training camp practices this year. They've been so impressive. They start out on the third wave here in the wide receiver pecking order on this first unofficial depth chart, with Jacoby Jones rounding out the rest of the group. Then we get to the offensive line, and it appears we have a legit right tackle battle. They're not just giving the Week 1 starting job to veteran Andrew Wiley, and they're not not giving it to a first-round rookie, Josh Connerly Jr., either. They are making these guys battle it out. And right now, Wiley is listed as the #1 right tackle. And, the Commanders have made it abundantly clear that Josh Connerly Jr. is going to have to take that job away from Wiley if he wants to start Week 1 versus the New York Football Giants. But it was listed on this unofficial depth chart as Andrew Wiley or Josh Connerly Jr. So JCJ is going to be able to, have the opportunity during the preseason and during these training camp practices to establish himself as a starting presence if he plays well enough. So he's certainly going to be somebody to keep your eye on here in these preseason games over the next few weeks. Staying on the offensive line here, Nick Allegretti played left guard for this team last year, but with Brandon Coleman moving inside to left guard, that means Allegretti is making the full-time move to right guard, and he's going to be the stopgap at that position while Sam Cosmi continues to work at his rehab. Dan Quinn continues to give positive updates on Cosmi's rehab, and I do think we're going to get him sometime within the first half of the NFL season this year, but it does appear that Allegretti will be the team's solution at right guard. He was listed as the guy behind Cosmi on the unofficial depth chart. Then we get to the defense here, and the starting front seven was revealed for the Washington Commanders, and I thought I was going to see Jer'Zhan Newton in there as a defensive tackle, and Dietrich Wise would have been somewhere in the rotation there, but he was actually listed as a starter. Dietrich Wise was, and Javon Kinlaw was listed as the 3-technique starter. Of course, Daron Payne is your nose tackle there at the 1-tech. Dorrance Armstrong is your Leo, kind of true defensive end type. And then Von Miller is listed as the Sam linebacker on the outside linebacker position there to create that 5 down front. But then you get to the linebacking room here, and of course that's Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. And Louvu will be playing quite a bit of edge this year as well in that NASCAR package that Dan Quinn loves to kind of throw out there on third downs. Frankie Louvu is going to be able to go out there with Von Miller and kind of get a bunch of speed there on the ball. But Frankie Louvu can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He's currently listed as the starting will linebacker next to Bobby Wagner, who of course plays the mic. And then the final takeaway here that I have from this unofficial depth chart is that Tyler Owens, somebody that's been getting a lot of reps with the first team defense as the bandit safety in this Dan Quinn scheme, he was kind of buried on this defensive depth chart where he's listed not only as a backup, but he's listed as the 3rd string strong safety behind guys like Jeremy Reeves. I like Jeremy. He's an awesome special teams player, but Owens is getting first team reps with the defenses as a bandit safety right now. It's just kind of a weird placing for somebody that this Commanders team claims to have a lot of confidence in heading into the 2025 season. He's big, he's athletic, he's got long arms, and he kind of fits that bandit safety role to a T. Maybe they're just trying to bury the lead there, and they don't want anybody thinking they got plans for Tyler Owens, and they don't want to kind of see him coming heading into the season. But that was certainly something that caught my eye when I picked up this Commanders depth chart. So who's your guy? Let me know down there in the comment section. Who's going to be the surprise star for the Washington Commanders this year? Is it going to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt? Is it going to be Luke McCaffrey? Is it going to be Jalen Lane? Is it going to be somebody else? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Who's going to catch us by surprise on this Commanders roster this year? All right, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of today's video. We got more content coming your way, all leading up to our first watch party of the 2025 preseason with Week 1 versus the New England Patriots on Friday night. So click that subscribe button and never miss a moment.